everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show. It's the show all about having and living the blue-collar business dream. My name is Carter Harkins, and with me every single week here is Taylor Hill.
And I'm here again.
Hey, man. So we're excited. You know, we're doing all this traveling right now, so we're pre-recording this episode to share with our listeners. So if you're out there and you're wondering where the heck are we in the country, if you've got the app, the Blue Collar Proud Show app, just look at the events, and you'll be able to see kind of where we are and what's going on. And we're excited today to actually have on the phone with us Sam Johnson. And Sam, if you remember a while back, he was on the show and talked with us. He's got a really successful business and had a great story about how he, just the changes and shifts in his business and things going on. And we're going to get a chance to talk to him today specifically about his training philosophy, because he kind of takes a little bit of an unconventional approach. So please welcome to the show right here with us, Sam Johnson.
Hello, gentlemen. Good to be back. I'm thrilled to be back on the show.
Man, we're glad to have you back. One of the things that we talked about just briefly on the episode previous was you take a very different approach to training, and you've had a lot of success where other companies seem to be struggling and saying, man, there's this skills gap going on, and it's the worst it's ever been. We can't find good people. And you just said, you know what? Yeah, it's tough, but we're just not going to participate in the skills gap. Me and my company, we're going to opt out of that mess. So talk to us a little bit about what you do to make hiring and training easier for you and your business.
There's a couple of different approaches. One was in the towing and roadside service part of our business. We took a step back and asked an honest question of where do the problems arise? What are we finding that our management is spending its most time managing? And what it came down to was poor communication and, dealing with conflict between the driver and the customer, whether it be the customer on the road or, a large vendor customer. Something did not go right inside the transaction of our employee, the driver on the road, and that consumer. And so we asked ourselves, how do we change that dynamic? And it really brought us back and had to take a hard look at our hiring practices, where we were asking, what certificates do you have in our industry? What experience do you have in our industry? What kind of trucks can you operate? What kind of recoveries can you do? Well, none of those things were we having problems with. So why weren't we interviewing to solve the problem that we were having? So we started changing the interview dynamic and asking questions that brought out the strengths with people who were good communicators, that were point of contact problem solvers, and that knew how to work under high pressure, high stress environments without taking it back and vocalizing that or being agitated and attacking the customer. And again, you can't find all that out in an interview, of course. We wish we could, but sure. We did change the format in which we were interviewing, and we started finding out that we just stopped hiring people from our own industry. And we started recruiting people that were good communicators, that interviewed well, that could articulate inside of the interview process problems they had at other employee situations or employer situations and how they solved for it. And then we started teaching them the technical trade skills that were necessary to perform the job safely. And it wasn't immediate. It was 12 and 24 and 36 months later, we had this robust workforce of stellar customer service providers out on the roadside. And then, inside of our body shop and collision repair facility, you just couldn't go out and recruit high-level, high-skilled, willing technicians because, well, they weren't there. So what do you do when they're not there? Well, you start going and looking for people who had 3 items. They had to have the desire to learn. They had to have the ability to show up and be dependable, which means, I'm here, it's 8 o'clock, I'm ready to work. And they had to be, clear-minded, but the willingness of, no matter what, I'm going to show up and continue to move forward. And once we kind of vetted that out and we test them, we didn't just hire them and put them next to a technician. We would hire them in and put them in a very entry-level position so that we could learn who are they, how consistent with them in the workforce with showing up every day. And I don't mean showing up like, hey, I'm physically here, but like no matter what job they did, my dad always said any job worth doing is worth doing right. So if they were dumping the trash or they're sweeping the floor, were they really giving it 100% effort? And then instead of rewarding them by saying, hey, you get to sweep more floors, we rewarded them by saying, how would you like an opportunity to work alongside a senior technician and start to grow the skill set that senior technician has that obviously allows him much higher wages? And that became the very platform of our internal internship program. And we have literally grown the majority of the workforce inside of our collision repair facility in our own walls from entry-level, non-skilled technicians to full-blown journeyman technicians that are experts in the different portions and fields of which the collision repair requires, be it bodyman, frame man, or painter. And the majority of the people that work for us today have literally grown up and grown their skill sets inside of the walls of the company that we run.
You know, one of the things I really love about this story, Sam, is we talk to so many people, and they are wanting someone to walk in their door that has everything they need.
8 years experience,
yeah,
their
all
own
the
tools.
experience, everything, because we think of it as, well, this is my business, and I'm looking at this as I want it easy on me. And what they're not seeing is how difficult it is, which is what you found out when you hire those people with experience. A lot of times there's a lot of stuff that comes with it, that you got to deal with. And so taking that really hard look is really important, but also taking someone that has zero skills but has the heart of service or the heart of whatever it is you do, and then showing them and giving them the opportunity to excel. It's the owners taking the back seat saying, I want to find the people that I can, one of my favorite people, John Meredith, says, pour into and grow them to be,
Absolutely.
to be great people and great workers for my company.
Yeah, we used to make the joke that when the guy came in and applied to be a tow truck operator and he had 6 different companies in town that he'd all previously worked on, I have no desire to be number 7.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yep.
And typically those guys would come in and I'd tell them, I appreciate you filling out the application, but the truth is I'm not a good enough company to be number 7 before number 8. I need to find somebody that just wants to grow and learn and stick with us. And, if as from an owner's standpoint, I've always taken the perspective that if a guy came in the front door, could do everything that I needed and everything that I do and perform at my level, why isn't he my competitor?
Yeah, that's a great point.
I mean, because really, if he's going to do all of the skilled things that I need and manage himself and everything of the function of the job that he does at the level I would do it, well, shouldn't he be in business for himself? So if the guys coming on board for me need a little help managing themselves or need a little guidance or need some leadership, isn't that the role I really should be playing anyway? Isn't that the position and the relationship that I owe to the employee?
Yeah, and that's a fantastic point. And Carter and I do the same thing. I mean, when I interview somebody, we have people with college degrees here and people that don't have college degrees. We have people that have marketing degrees and people that don't have marketing degrees. But we don't even care.
Well, the main thing is hiring for the culture.
Because we hire for culture,
the skill.
yeah. And we have a fantastic group of people. And it's not that we don't care that they didn't get a college degree or they did. It's that with our company, that's not what we're looking for specifically. We appreciate what they've gone through to get those degrees, but specific to our company, we're looking for a culture match here that we know is going to work, and teamwork is really big here. And so we're looking for a personality, if you will, that we know is going to fit. And we can teach them all the other stuff. And a lot of people in blue-collar, skilled trades don't think you can do that, and I disagree with them because you're proof that you can.
I agree. I agree, and I think the question that needs to be asked to the owners of the trades, regardless of what trade you operate in, is what problems are you having that you find it necessary to hire for? And are your hiring practices truly acknowledging a repair or a fix to the problems that you're experiencing today inside of your business? Because if you're saying, God, I can't get Johnny to show up for work, and little Bobby just, he's inconsistent with the product he puts out, and so on and so forth, but your answer is to put more labor on in the same hiring practices you use to recruit those people, what do you think you're going to get more of?
The same thing you've been getting.
That's it.
If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten.
Amen. So that's where we changed it up. And then, you talked about recruiting. One of my best tools has been to use my internal workforce to recruit additional workforce. So we put a pretty robust referral package together that allows the current employee a $500 bonus upon the new hire's 90-day graduation. So they come in, they mention that, John referred me, I'm here, he fills out the application. Well, we bonus the employee that referred them in and got them there. And what we found is, my peers said, oh, well, you're going to have them get, referring everybody to get the bonus. And the reality was no, because they didn't want the embarrassment of being tied to somebody who they didn't think was actually going to be successful. And our best mechanism for referrals has been that process. And for recruiting wise, it's cheap money for the kind of quality referral that you get, because the employee is selling the business to the potential employee, and the employee coming in has already been slightly vetted better than any other company that I've experienced by the employee that you have on board already, because he doesn't want to be embarrassed with his peers about bringing a bad apple on.
Yeah, man, that is so true. I wish we could talk even more about what you do, but man, I really appreciate you coming on today, talking about some of the strategies that you've used and bringing some of those insights to us. I know people are going to want to connect with you, Sam. What's the best way for them to do that?
Best platforms to reach me are Instagram and Facebook. Just search The Blue Collar Guy or hashtag The Blue Collar Advantage, and I'm sure to pop up and you can connect with me there.
You're the real deal, man. Sam Johnson, thanks for being on.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Safe travels on your whirlwind tour.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Man, he had some great insights. I think if business owners realized that the talent pool that they are passing over because they've decided in their heads that they're not a good fit already. Mm-hmm. They've already said this group of people out there in the world that I could be trying to attract into my business, they're not a good fit for me because I have in my head exactly what it is I need. And you talk to the average 45-year-old business owner, 50-year-old business owner, and they're looking for somebody like them. Mm-hmm. Who's 40 years old, 45 years old, who is seasoned and has been around the block, and they don't have to teach them anything. They can just get behind the wheel of a truck, go out there and do the work and be okay. But what I found and what Sam has found and other business owners who are doing a really great job is that those people that are coming into their culture that don't have the guidance and the leadership and don't want it because they feel like they already know everything, they actually end up sometimes making lousy employees for you. Mm-hmm. If you'll take somebody who's green and train them and teach them what you want to know and enculturate them into your business, you're going to have a far superior employee almost every time.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. Just do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, we've failed here. We've had people that have come in that we have loved and loved on and done all the right stuff and really think that they could have easily been great employees long term had they got on board, but they just never got on board.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And it didn't work. So what? Had we looked at one situation and said, oh, this isn't going to work, I don't know what we're going to do. But yeah, we would have never grown the company that we had. And I know tons of other business owners in the same boat that if they had made decisions based on ones that don't work, they would have never hired the ones that do and never built the companies that they have today.
Yeah, right.
So this idea of making decisions based on something that doesn't go your way, it's just learn from it and move on. Because if you're not growing, this has been said 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yep.
That's it. If you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're not going to choose to grow, that's fine. But just know you're on your way to death.
Yeah.
In your business. And that's okay if that's what you want to do.
But it's
all
a decision.
Right. It's a decision.
Just like the decision, there is a skills gap in our country. No question. There's a skills gap in the world when it comes to contractor trades. But you get to decide as the business owner whether or not you want to participate in that feeling and sense of lack.
Yeah.
You get to decide if that's what you want. And if you want to join the skills gap and be a part of that, that's fine. There's a lot of businesses out there who are watching huge opportunities pass by because they don't have the right team and they're not able to hire the right people. And they sit there and they think, maybe this is the month. Maybe this month that unicorn, that special someone with the experience and all the right things is going to walk through the door flanked by two angels going, and I'm going to know it's the right guy, and it's just going to, and then I'm going to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. And I know there are people listening right now that's exactly the boat you feel like you're in. Or either that or the only other choice you've got is to compromise, to hire bad people that you know are going to bring with them problems into your business, but just hope that the good this time is going to outweigh the bad, and maybe you'll get lucky.
Yeah.
Either one, it's not a very good choice. And I think what Sam was talking about is a way forward that's different than either one of those choices. It's looking to a different talent pool, a different possibility outside of your industry and recruiting into your business that could actually be better than you ever thought possible if you're open to that possibility.
Well, that and the fact that if you'll just stop and ask the right questions. So many of us don't do that. You have to stop and ask. I love that he stopped and said, what are we dealing with all the time? If you're dealing with customer service issues all of the time, then you have customer service issue problems. So you need to hire people that are good at customer service and teach them the other skills. That's a no-brainer to me. And I'm so glad. I got to tell you, I love this guy for one reason and one reason only. And I probably, if I got the chance to really visit with him, probably be for more reasons. But it's the fact that he has proven my point that I said was true all along, is that you can do it in any business. You just have to have the will.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that was great. And I hope you enjoyed that, Proud Nation. And if you are interested in connecting with us, there's a lot of different places you can do that. First of all, just a reminder that our book, Blue Collar Proud, 10 Principles for Building a Kick-Ass Business You Love, is available on Amazon, right next to another book that we just co-wrote with our good friend Jerry Eisenhower over at CVC Coaching. And the name of that book is Blue Collar Marketing, From Startup to Success. So check out both of those books. They're super, super cheap. You can get them both paperback or Amazon or Kindle. And quick reads, both of them. If you read it, please leave us a review online just to let us know what you thought of it. And you can also review the podcast as well over in iTunes. That's where we would prefer that you leave us a review. Tell us that you like it if you do, and we would appreciate that. And we're out traveling right now, but you can always connect with us over in the Blue Collar Proud Nation Facebook group. Just do a search on Facebook for Blue Collar Proud Nation. Find the group, ask to join. We'll let you right in, and then you can connect with us. Of course, you can find out about all the other places where you can connect with us by simply going to bcpshow.com/connect. And that is going to do it for this short episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show. As always, Taylor and I want to thank you so much for being out there and for listening every single week. I want to thank the people that make this show happen. Aaron Blaze, our technical director, Jessica Wynn, our show coordinator, and Jonathan Sanders, our social media manager. Until next time, remember, it takes the same blood, sweat, and tears to build a business that holds you hostage as it does to build one that gives you everything you want in your life. So why not build it the Blue Collar Proud way?
The Blue Collar Proud Show is a production of the Blue Collar Proud Network.